Okay, here we go. So this was the OG tweet. What makes women respectable? And it's just middle fingers and 3 different photos. I didn't realize this was Rachel Zegler. It just says respect women today and every day. And Rollo says, what makes women respectable? I would guess your behavior. So I responded, oh, thank you, my love. Many women, I love that you gave me the big girl glass.
Yes.
They probably like, we can't give you glass because you're outside at the pool. You got to do plastic.
About 1,000 years.
Oh, it took them forever. Oh, it takes them every time I'm there. It takes forever. Many women. Okay, so I thought about this a long time, and I wrote this right after I did Jesse Lee Peterson's podcast, where we were talking about like kind of feminism and the modern effects. And then I wrote, many women are afraid of getting hurt by men, so they put up a tough front. This is a good example of what I call like performative strength that feminists think is cool and men interpret as someone looking to fight and obnoxious, which it is. When women put out this type of male combativeness, they will get it back in return from men. It's so important for women to retain our baseline feminine qualities. And of course, I don't mean this like every moment of every day. I just mean like generally.
Retain your baseline feminine qualities now.
As to not repel everyone and everything around us, not just men, but friends, opportunities, etc. Do not be led by fear. And by that, I mean, it's this feminist attitude. They walk into a room, fuck you, respect me, I'm a bad bitch, I'm a queen, pay for all my shit, or I don't need you. Men are trash, men are toxic.
Men are trash is a phrase.
And then when you're doing this and you're like putting a lot of intensity out there, what does that remind you of? That reminds you of like everyone
highly insecure.
Yeah,
and like
highly insecure. And it also reminds you of everyone has seen this guy, the guy who's walking around looking for a fight, right? He's intense.
He's taking his shirt off,
he's in people's faces. He's, just unprovoked, insane aggression out of nowhere. That is how feminists act. And when a man encounters that energy, it's almost like biological. It's like, oh, this person wants to fight, so I have to also sort of like mentally put my dukes up and like you're bracing yourself for conflict, because I think that's like that taps into a very basic part of being a man. Whereas like Lila's a perfect example. She's always sweet, always kind. That's why people are constantly doing things for her and want to help her, because she's small and she's sweet. And I think she brings out in people a male desire to protect and help and provide.
We were talking about this. Yes, there's Lila could literally shit on your dog or on your carpet and be like, oh, it's okay. Like a man, they just want to be like, oh, well, what happened? Because of this energy that she has, because she's petite and lovely and beautiful and sweet and angelic, and it's just
lovable. Oh wait, can you scooch over a little?
It just wakes up.
I could move the camera, but I'm afraid it'll completely shut everything down.
I didn't want to stand up and be like, over your towering over you like a lunatic.
Like a lunatic.
She wakes up something in men that.
But she's so sweet, and she's also small, which makes people want to help and protect her. I mean, she needs help. She's dealing with a lot of shit, and she should have people carrying her bag. Like there should probably be people carrying our bags everywhere we go, but we don't ask that of anyone. We don't demand that of anyone.
We don't even think anyone wants us around in general at all.
Yeah, so. We are just sorry. We're like sorry we exist.
Yes, exactly. You don't have to carry my bag. I'll carry your bag. Do you have a briefcase?
I'll carry your bag. I'll carry it till I'm falling down the stairs.
Yes. Would you like some of my soul? No.
So anyway, when feminists and I think there's the hardcore feminists that are like 30s, 40s, 50s, right? They're in it. They've been living this repulsive, personality lifestyle for decades. They're kind of crusty. They've crusted into it,
Yeah.
But
I
think
you flinch when I buck.
And of course, a man's gonna respond to that with, "What do you want?" There, a man is not going. I'm not trying to pretend I know everything about men and I'm giving advice or I know what it's like to be a man. Of course, I don't. But I like I said, lived long enough to know that like it's like almost like you're stepping. Yeah, you want to go. Like you're not coming at somebody with like sweetness. You come at someone with kindness, they're going to want to listen to you and help you.
I have always gotten further with, sugar than I have with vinegar, right? Because that's just who I am. It doesn't mean you can't be a strong woman. I look at feminism like in my brain, it's just common sense. Of course, we should probably be paid the same if we're doing the same job. All right. Like anything like that. But it doesn't have to be like, I need to be hideous, a hideous monster that's like, bucking at everybody and
Right.
like, you know, I don't know, being so aggressive. That's or saying all men are trash. I hear that phrase on Bravo all the time, and I love Bravo Network. But I'm like, well,
Men are trash. That's horrible. And
I'm
what,
more of a person. I just you take
what
everyone
message-
one-on-one. A lot of women are trash. That's
right.
all.
And like, what
Yeah.
message does that give people? Wow, an entire gender is trash. Great.
Mhm.
Okay. Let's say you may not. Let's say you're not interested in finding a spouse or a husband. Maybe you just don't really care for men generally. But guess what?
Nobody
Guess
doesn't-
what? Everyone needs men because you get opportunities from men. What are you going to live an entirely women only life and only deal with women who own things, make things,
That
do
sounds
things?
horrible.
That sounds insane, and that's also very hard to do. It's like, so at some point you have to deal with a man, and if you are living your life in a way that naturally turns off half of the population to you, it's just going to make your life harder, and explains why a lot of these women are miserable.
Yeah, these broad generalizations, I just can't abide by it. I just
Mhm.
don't live my life that way. Men are trash. Well, really? I don't know.
It's become culturally acceptable and like a fun game to just gang up on men
Dude.
and undermine masculinity in all forms. In any type of masculinity is considered toxic. Any kind of, it's weird. Like women will shit on men for like kind of being strong and doing doing what they need to do, but then they'll try to emulate. They'll do like man face, like Zegler is doing, like fuck you, I don't need you, man, suck, I don't need a prince. And it's like you're kind of aping like a man's behavior. You're not. You think you're being tough.
Not all men are toxically masculine. This man has been on the elliptical for an hour and a half next to us. That is a very feminine machine.
I can't respect a man on an elliptical.
Okay,
if you're on for 10, 15 minutes, just get the blood flowing, fine. But you've now spent. We should try to get a.
He's going faster. I swear to God, he knows we're staring at him. He's going faster.
He went from a casual jaunt to now.
There's a
Eye
big
of the
window
tiger.
with the gym next door to us. So he's like running. He's like, it's fine.
We're looking at him rolling our eyes. No, here we are shitting on men.
Visconti always does the
don't mean to.
elliptical.
I would say do a, I don't know, if you must do a treadmill over an elliptical, but maybe his joints are weak.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe his legs are fake.
Yeah, maybe he just went through penis enlargement surgery and he can't really do. He has to do low impact.
He lost his knees in a.
He's running from his gayness.
In a man accident.
Yeah, very true. Maybe he's a medical issue.
He's running from his gayness.
He's running from something. He's ellipticaling away. So, right. In summation, I think it takes a strong person to not be hardened and calcified by the hardships of life. Everyone gets hurt by somebody. Just like men who get hurt by women, if they don't heal themselves, they'll turn MGTOW. Women who don't heal themselves from the hurt of men in their life, be it their dad or other men, they could become crusty feminists. So it's like, it's your job to, there is a strength in being vulnerable and like soft and sweet. And if life has hardened you to the point where you've lost your sweetness and now you're just a cunt and you're harsh to everybody, it's like, well, then you've let them win, or you've let the situation control your personality.
To me, the best thing about being a woman is the feminine things. I like fucking pink plush velvety shit and clothes and girly things. I mean, what would you want to give that up? And like I don't want to not shave my legs. Is it all right with everyone? I mean, you don't have to have this hard exterior if you just are that way. But if you're trying to make a point of being overly anything, just like fuck all men. And what if somebody said fuck all women? They would be canceled in a fucking second.
Well, they do. They say that
like this.
There are communities that say that and feel that way. They just don't deal with women at all.
Yeah, we like bimbo power, sure.
Yeah. It's great.
Running from it.
It's great. Anyway, so I didn't think that was a particularly deep thought.
It's pretty deep.
But I go, well, I was a feminist. I did kind of used to act like that. I see what this is now. And I put that out there before I knew it was Rachel Zegler. Now that I see it's Rachel Zegler, she is someone who's 22. She hasn't lived life enough to know what's real, what's not. And she doesn't know how insane and cartoonish she looks, and how it's obvious how bad all of her promo has been for the upcoming Snow White remake. I mean, I think that's made national and global news. Like, girl, shut up. You're bad for business. But I think she's just being told kind of what to think. And that her posing with the middle finger or being like, we don't need Prince Charming. It's almost like she's trying to get the
That's
admiration or
who it
respect
was.
from her female peers, from her older female peers. Maybe they're in some kind of producing role, but it's like she's trying to impress her mom. The way she's acting is like, I'm trying to impress the other women in my life by this sort of performative.
Yeah, and if she's 22, then okay, she's grown up with like pretty equal, pretty like a lot of equality between men and women. So what is she? I mean,
not only is it equal, it's more than equal for
more
women.
than equal.
I would say we're extra equal.
Yeah, if I'm 30, I mean, I would think things. I saw a lot of change, like I'm sure you did in your like lifetime, just social change or whatever. But she grew up with like, hey, no, we're equal.
She just got here. Yeah. She literally could have been born on 9/11.
That's
no, not even.
Yeah,
she's probably born. She's 22, 21. Yeah, she's probably born in the year 2000.
Yeah,
the year 2001,
right.
maybe.
So what has she lived through that a man like is? I don't need a man.
She hasn't like.
What is like?
What's been her difficulty? Right. I don't know.